Hi friends, it's Catherine Allendorf here from Scrap Happy Cath. I just wanted to do a quick video today to introduce you to a new concept that Creative Memories has brought out. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of this in 2023, but this is our first iteration. We've all seen sketches before. We've seen them in the virtual crops. They're getting released on the blog every week. We see our project recipes, but what this one is doing is targeting those beginner scrapbookers and those scrapbookers who just want a little bit of help progressing their layouts from a more basic style to off to a more advanced style. So what these are is a sketch that has a beginner version, an intermediate version, and an advanced version. So what you can see here is we've got a basic beginner sketch. And then you can see on the intermediate sketch, we've got these blue pieces being brought in. They're the new pieces being introduced. And then the advanced sketch is expanding that sketch so it goes across the 2 pages and creates a double page layout. So if you haven't used a sketch before, just to understand how they are being read. So what you'll see is these strips of paper, different coloured pieces denote different coloured or different patterned paper, depending on how you like to scrap. You have the title, which is obvious. Your little lines here are your journaling, and then these pieces here, these little flower pieces, are your embellishments. All right, and obviously your photos here. We don't normally see measurements on a sketch, but for the purposes of this one, because they are targeted at beginner scrapbookers, they have put some basic measurements in here too to assist you to get that page done. All right, on the intermediate sketch here, we've got these new elements being brought in. So when you see this shape on a sketch, that's a border. All right, so it could be with a border punch, a border maker cartridge, a laser cut border, or a sticker. Choice is yours. And then this is just a mat that's getting put behind the photo, and then a little flag out the side here. Okay, and then on the advanced sketch, we've got these new little pieces being brought in. So the sketch has been expanded across the 2 pages, and then these little pieces here that you can see could be an embellishment. They could be a little some little note cards, whatever you'd like to use. Okay, some little sentiments perhaps. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to show you some tips using how to select your paper. So the collection that I'm using today is the silver and gold collection. So we've got our accent paper pack, which has these beautiful foiled papers, and then we've got the shades of, which is the complementary paper pack that goes with that. All right, so when choosing my papers, I do tend to scrap onto a wallpaper. So I tend to use a fairly neutral wallpaper, and then because we're using horizontal lines, okay, so I tend to have a patterned piece. Now all Creative Memories papers are all double-sided, you can see that. Okay, so and they tend to be complementary as well. Okay, so the paper pack, the papers tend to all be coordinating, which makes it so much easier for us to get our pages done and to make our pages look beautiful. So what I tend to do is have a neutral background, and then because we're doing those horizontal pieces, I'll have a patterned piece, and then a more neutral piece, and then a color. That's just how I like to have mine laid out. That's really up to you. And then if you have a more a lighter piece at the back, then you can introduce a dark colored border onto that. Or if you had a darker piece up there, you would have a lighter colored border, and that just helps it all stand out. Okay, that's just a tip from how I personally work. The other thing I just wanted to show you quickly is working with really bold patterns. So I just wanted to show you this, for example. So we've got this beautiful foiled brocade design here, and that works really beautifully on the back. When we have these quite intense designs, I like to match them with a stripe, and the stripe, a complementing stripe, so the stripe will kind of calm that down a little bit. And when you've got the light and you put that against the darker, and that all stands out quite beautifully. So just a couple of tips from me to you. All right, so we're going to be starting with this beginner layout. So the papers that I've used today are, I've used the papers that were chosen by Kylie Kingham, so I do want to give her a shout out. Thank you, Kylie, because they were just so beautiful and I wanted to emulate that. So we're starting with a neutral base. I've already got my pieces pre-cut, okay, just because it makes it a little bit faster for me to do the demo for you. So I've cut 2 1-inch pieces, 2 3/4-inch pieces, and then a 2.5-inch wide piece and a 1 3/4-inch piece. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and lay these out. You'll find this is quite a simple layout, but it's also a very beautiful layout. And it all comes down to the papers that you choose. And we've got some really gorgeous collections out at the moment, and I kind of feel like you can't lose. They're all really, really, really lovely. Okay, so we'll just lay our pieces down there. I'm not going to stick the rest down just yet, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, so then we've got our 3/4-inch pieces going in there, top and bottom. And then we've got our 2.5-inch piece. This is 2.5 by 12. Okay, so we scrap in inches, and pages are generally, the standard size is 12 by 12. Okay, you could have 8 by 8 if you're doing a small album, but everything I'm doing today is on a 12 by 12. Okay, so that's our basic layout done. So if we're going according to the sketch, then we can pop down our photos. So I've just got a 4 by 6 photo mat, and then I've matted that onto a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4-inch piece, just to pop that up. Another tip for you, if you don't like to use the odd kind of measurements, what you could do is get your photo, when you get your photos printed, get them printed with a white border. Okay, and then either it's already matted because it's got a white border around it, or then you can trim off that border, and then your photo mat will be can just be 4 by 6, and you'll be able to get what's that, 6 out of a 12-inch square piece of paper. Okay, without any leftovers. So just another little tip for you. So according to the sketch, we're just going to lay these photos down now. As I said, sketches are a jumping off point, right? So that is what the sketch says to do, but you might have 2 6 by 4 photos and you don't want to trim them down. Okay, so there's nothing saying you can't just do that. Okay, or you might have landscape photos instead of portrait photos, so you just pop them down like that. That'll actually give you a little bit of extra space, and then if you've got some extra photos, you can pop them down there too. Okay, so this layout's extremely versatile, as you can already see. Okay, I'll just pop that there, and then you can just pop your embellishments down. Okay, and these little layered embellishments are amazing because you can see how quickly you can make a really beautiful little embellishment cluster without much effort at all. Okay, all right, so the next thing that I wanted to show you was with this layout. As I said, it's extremely versatile, so you don't have to have a horizontal layout. You can turn that around and make it vertical. Okay, and then again you just adjust that to whatever photos that you have. Okay, so you could make, all right, so completely up to you. Alrighty, so going from there, working with the sketch, I'm just going to turn this around because I do want to keep working on this as a landscape layout just for the moment, okay? But everything that we're doing today, you could turn it around and make it a portrait, so it's really up to you. Okay, so the next step is creating this border at the top and the bottom. So this is for our intermediate piece. So we've got a border, a mat that goes behind your photos here, and this little flag that pops out the side here. All right, so I've already pre-punched things. So what I'm going to do, I love this. This is the new Damask Flourish punch. It's just beautiful. So what I'll do is pop that down and then pop my other piece on top, and this will allow those little flourishes to just peek out over the top for that border. Okay, and we'll do that at the bottom as well. Alrighty. And then we've got the mat that sits in behind, so we'll just pop that in there. You can measure if you like. I tend to eyeball most things. Okay, and then we've got our little flag that pops out the side there. Okay, so up to you, like that. Okay, so I did just want to show you also, when you're making these little flags, there is a flag punch that it's discontinued, but if you look on the Buy Swap Sell sites, you should be able to find one. But I find this is simple enough to do, so I just do a quick little notch in the middle of the flag and run that up to about 1 inch, and then just work from the corner up to that point. And what that does, by making that first cut, it gives you somewhere to direct your scissors, and it also makes sure that you're reaching the middle of it, the top point is in the middle of your piece as well, and there's no guessing there. Okay, so that's a little flag done. I'll just pop that aside for later. Okay, so this is our intermediate layout, so then that's now ready to pop photos onto. So again, you could just follow the sketch and pop your photos down like so. Okay, and can pop some embellishments on there. Okay, and that's your sketch done. All right, so I guess I've made that look pretty easy. The layout is, it's simple but extremely effective when you use these beautiful papers. The thing for me, and give me a like if you can relate, the thing for me that takes the longest is choosing my papers, and then once I've got if the layout done, I can get that done super quick, and then it takes me forever to choose my embellishments. So I don't know if you can relate to that, but it does me. All right, so, and again, as we saw before, this layout can be done, oops, as a portrait as well. Okay, so it's really up to you how you like to roll with that sketch. Okay, I should have stuck these down a little. Just pop them down. Right. Okay, so expanding on from that, we go on to our double page sketch, and all it is just replicating. We're just mirroring it over onto another page. So just pop this in. Here's one I prepared earlier. Alrighty, so we'll just pop down the photo mats. pop down our photos. Okay, and usually you would have a title over here. We'll just put this back over here so you can see. So usually you would have your title if you were going to do that on one page, and then on the other page it allows you room to put a few extra photos. Okay, and as I showed you earlier, you don't have to do this just because it's what's on the sketch. You can do whatever you like. Okay, just pop that back up on there, and then as you can see in the sketch, it does give you some clues about popping your embellishments, where to pop your embellishments. So this one's really, we'll just pop that there, and I'm just going to pop some down. I haven't prepared this. This is such a beautiful collection. Okay, so that's your sketch done. So you can see we've gone from beginner to intermediate to the advanced version with the double page spread there. Okay, the other thing I did want to show you with this collection that Kylie did demonstrate, which I really liked, is I know it's a gold collection, but you can very easily pop some colour in here. So I've just cut some like 1/8 of an inch strips of paper, so you can very quickly put a pop of color in there if you like, and it's going to go with so many colors. So if this was, so for example, an 18th birthday or a pink themed New Year's Eve party, or any other sort of celebration that had a bit of a theme color in there, you can add that extra color in. Okay, I'm just going to pop those out. And I'll just show you with the blue as well. I cut a couple of extra strips of blue. So you can introduce a little bit of colour into this. You could choose to put blue photo mats, or you could do a blue border instead of the black, really up to you. But I just wanted to show you that you can introduce a little bit of colour into here and it will all go together and it looks really beautiful. Alrighty, so that is using the silver and gold collection. I just want to show you the same layout. So I'm just going to pop this one over here, and hopefully I won't disturb too much. I've just done the same layout using the seasonal sightings collection. So I just wanted to show you this so you can see it's exactly the same layout, but because we're using different papers, it looks very different, okay? And that just demonstrates the absolute versatility of this layout. Okay, so this is done in your seasonal sightings papers now. So the last thing I wanted to show you was we've got the previous one was using that Damask Flourish Punch. This one's done using the new Poinsettia Border Maker cartridge to use with the Border Maker system. Okay, and how pretty does that look? Okay, we'll just pop down pieces. I think I'll turn that over. Okay, and then we can have our photos on the page like that. Okay, so that's using the Border Maker cartridge. Alternatively, you could just swap out the Border Maker cartridge for a laser cut border, and that just pops it up so fast, doesn't it? That looks really terrific. Or your other option here, I just want to show you, these are the Totally Tonal Christmas border stickers. So it's a pack just with border stickers, which I love. Okay, so your other option might be to take that out. The one thing I did want to mention before we go any further, when you're buying the laser cut borders, which I love, so I'll just show you the seasonal sightings ones. They're so beautiful. They are double-sided. Okay, so you'll see different color combinations on the different sides, okay? But you only get one of each in a pack. So if you're like me and you tend to do double page layouts, which I do all the time, I recommend that you get 2 packs of these if you love them, okay? Because then you can continue your border across the 2 pages. All right, we don't need to worry about that with the border stickers because they always have 2 of each in every pack. Okay, so this is the same layout, and I'm just going to show you using the border stickers. We'll just pop that. Oh, it's gone a little bit too far down. Okay, and I really love this Holly Jolly Christmas. Okay, so how fast was that? And how beautiful does that look? All right. So just some tips and tricks for you. Alrighty, well, I hope you found that useful. We'll be seeing more of this in 2023, as I said. So as they come through, I'll do extra videos and start and do these demos for you. And I hope you find them useful. It's nearly New Year. Have a wonderful New Year. Have a wonderful 2023. Our next workshop coming up is on the 7th with Sue Smith. I'm taking a break in January, but I will see you back again in February. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.